Alright, everybody, here it is. The culmination of my replay. I guess, of replaying Final Fantasy VII before Rebirth comes out. So we're like maybe one day away from possibly getting a demo. So the timing on this couldn't have been any more perfect, I guess. So, you know what? Sweet. So we're on the last fight, and we're on basically the new super boss that got released once Intergrade came out, and that's Weiss. For anybody who's played I guess the extended universe games, you know who this is. He's from Dirge of Cerberus, from Deep Ground. A lot of people are not a fan of those characters. I'm not even Dirge of Cerberus. I'm not a fan of it, but I believe they did a really good job in the remakes, implementing them. Making Weiss a super boss fight was actually a really cool idea. So, for me, I like it. It's actually a really fun fight too. Has a lot of really cool, really cool mechanics. But we'll talk about that when we get into it. So let's get into it. All right, so I'm gonna be showing my materia setup at the end of the fight. So if you want to see that, you can go ahead skip towards the end, because normally I was showing it at the beginning of the fight. But since, obviously this was a super boss, I was going to be replaying the boss multiple times. I didn't want to have to, continuously keep showing my materia setup when I was, deleting recording and stuff and then starting it back up. Alright, so I'm going to be using all three characters. Aerith, maybe not so much. I do switch to her a few times. But, for the most part, I'm going to be using, Tifa and Cloud. So when he's in he has I was trying to think of what I wanted to explain. So he has three different kind of stances, I guess you can call them stances. So this one is going to be his his dual sword stance and stuff. So he's going to come at you with his dual swords, and he does three different attacks. Yes, he does have the normal attacks. He does have this pop-up attack, but I'm not counting those. What I'm talking about is the named attacks, like that one over his head. These are the ones you're going to be trying to use to your advantage, okay? So when he does stab, like what he just did, dodge towards him. So, circle forward, and you'll do this little bunny hop right over him, and it'll put him in pressure mode, and that's how you'll build up his stagger gauge. So this other ability, the main one that's kind of the one that he did the most, at least when I was fighting him, Evisceration. That move is kind of hard to dodge, I think. There's a specific timing for it, so you'll know when to do it when he kind of reaches behind him or something like that. Yeah, or you see him doing this thing, where it looks like he's reaching behind him. When he starts to do that, you want to dodge backwards. Okay, it is kind of a little bit of a tight timing. You have to practice that one and get it down. But if you dodge that attack, he'll become staggered as well. Then the other one that he does is the cross weave or whatever that you saw him just do just a second ago. That one is not as tricky, but sometimes it can catch you off guard. At least for me it did. That one you kind of want to dodge to the sides. And that one has a specific timing. You want to wait until he almost hits you, I guess. And he comes kind of fast, so you're going to have to watch out for that. So when he almost hits you, then you want to dodge. If you do it right, you'll stagger him then as well. So this is then, once you do enough damage to him, he's going to phase shift. And this is when he goes into his gun mode. Okay? So this one's going to be a little bit different. He's immune to physical attacks. Okay? So this is where you're going to want to hit him with magic. So definitely make sure that you have, and this is where I switch to Cloud, and Aerith will also work as well. You can also switch to Aerith. So I tend to use both of them. I leave Tifa kind of out of this because she doesn't have any magic setup, but you can also do that. You can put magic materia on Tifa. I didn't, because I was trying to, like, you know, I was trying to use other things for her. And so you'll notice like what I'm doing here is when I'm switching characters, especially when someone is low health, I'll switch to a different character. You'll notice that I do that a lot. The reason why I do this is because Weiss will literally target whoever you are playing, and that is who he is going to go after the entire fight. So you can absolutely exploit this. Definitely exploit that. If your character becomes low HP, switch your character. That way, he's not going to be going after them, and then you can basically get your heal off, switch to another character, so that way the person who's casting the heal can cast the heal, and then he'll focus his attention on the other person, and you can just draw his attention, and then basically heal your character, and then you can go right back to it. Okay? I think it's a really cool thing, to be honest. It makes the fight interesting because they want you to be focused on his attacks. His attacks are the reason, are like, especially in his dual sword stance. For the gun stance, it's a little bit different. You just need to hit him with magic, and then that's kind of really what it is. And then you'll see how his like stagger bar is blue right now. He casted this ability, I don't remember the name of it, but he casted this ability that basically just like it heals his stagger bar. And what you want to do is, yeah, that was bad. I was kind of stuck there because even if I did switch a different character, he was still going to chase after Aerith until he finished that attack. Reprieve saved me there. I was kind of stuck there. I probably should have switched and then let the AI dodge that attack. They probably would have had better success than I did. Anyways, but like, what you want to do is when he does cast that ability that like heals his stagger gauge, you just keep hitting him with magic, or you can just kind of let it take down. I never really staggered him in this phase. I just basically kept hitting him with thunder, and then just and just basically just whittled him down in this phase. So you can see like this little like that little like black hole he summoned there. You basically just stay away from that. It slowly chases you and stuff, and if you get close, it'll take down your damage. It'll suck you in once you get kind of close enough. And then you can see kind of like these little purple clouds on the ground. He shoots those off. Every now and then, and they do silence, I believe they do. So, okay, this attack, you're dead. As you can see, this is the reason why I'm not too worried about, this is why I didn't do like a no death kind of thing. Because the reason for that is that attack, you cannot mitigate any of the damage. It's going to do 9,999 damage every single fucking time. Okay? That's the one thing that sucks about this. So that's the only reason why I am allowing deaths in this fight, and it's the only reason why I'm using all three characters, is because, sure, I could have probably banged my head against the wall for maybe like, I don't know, a week or so doing this. Like, if Rebirth wasn't coming out, if there was no demo coming out, I probably would have done it, I think. I might have put a little bit more time into kind of doing like a no damage run on this guy, because it's definitely possible. You can no damage him for sure. I think people have already done it, and that kind of would have been the challenge that I would have done for it. But anyways, now I'm not going to talk about it too much, but yeah, that attack right there is one of the reasons why I'm not too worried about having my characters dying, and you're going to have to mitigate that. And how you do mitigate that is by either using the weapons that have reprieve on them, which is why I'm using the Iron Blade for Cloud, so that way he can use the accessory. The accessory can be anything other than the one that basically gives you like a free revive. And the weapon I'm using for Aerith has reprieve on it, as we've seen multiple times. So she had the reprieve, but she died because basically, oh, it's called the revive earring or whatever. Yeah. Oh, so anyways, I'll talk about this dual blade. So this is his third phase, the dual blade phase. This is where I burn my limit breaks. Yeah, this phase, I want to get out of this phase as quickly as possible. These attacks are a pain in the ass to deal with. And I'll tell you what, I'll tell that to anybody. If you get to this phase, and if you have a limit break before you get to that third phase where he goes into dual blade, or basically, yeah, like the dual, he has dual blades, but what the hell is the name of it? Freaking, anyways, yeah, if you get into that phase and you have limit breaks, save it for that one. Save it for that phase. Get out of that phase. That's where I killed him anyways. So that's where I ended off the fight. But anyways, in order to mitigate the his big beefy attack that just kills your whole team if you're not prepared for it, you either want to wear revival earrings, which is what Tifa had on her during the fight. That way she could stay on the metal knuckles, which are her big damage attacks. I used the Iron Blade for Cloud, so that way he had reprieve. That way I can keep his accessory different. Aerith also had a revival earring. It was kind of like she had like the double protection, I guess, because like she revived herself also during that fight, even though her reprieve already got used. So she basically revived herself during that fight, which was kind of nice. So only Cloud needed to get revived because his reprieve got lost, I think, or he died some other way. But yeah, you can see my materia set up here. Go ahead and check that out. We're on hard mode because you can only fight Weiss on hard mode. That's basically all the bosses in Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'll see you guys in the demo if it gets released.